have commented on their weight, including journalist Samantha Brick, who says that her husband made it very clear at the start of their relationship that he would leave her if she gained weight. And now she says that she has just embraced that part of the relationship. So is that the way to play it, Nadia? You just
do as you're told.
You just embrace that.
Sounds
part.
like doing as you're told, and then making, and then feeling like that you're somehow empowered because this incredible man has given you the gift of managing yourself in the way that you should to be a perfect wife. My God, if anybody spoke to me like that before a relationship, gave me a checklist of what I was going to be and how I was going to have to behave for them to still love me, no. That's for me, in my opinion, that is controlling behaviour. It's setting out the rules and regulations for me to still love you. And it's conditional love.
Have you ever asked the question, though? Because I know I have, and maybe not too seriously, but women love asking those questions, don't they? Would you still love me if I got fat?
Is that what you've said?
Oh, of course I've said that.
Really?
Did you have fluffy slippers on it and holding a teddy at the same
a bit
time?
needy.
Well, no, it's not needy because I know I'm never going to get fat. I just won't allow it to happen.
You're like that story that was trending on Instagram last week. The girl had said to her boyfriend, "Will you still love me if I'm a worm?" And he said no, and she was crying.
Crying?
Oh, because he wouldn't still love her if she was a worm.
Yeah, but Mark said the same thing.
What does he say?
Well, because, you know, if he puts on a few pounds, you go, would you still love me if I'm fat?
But that...
And I say no.
Oh, my God.
Say no. But we're both winding each other up, but it's one of those questions. It's like you're kind of fishing for an answer, but you don't want to know if the answer is no. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's that. It's women are like that.
I think, jumping in what you're maybe going to say, Nadia, within the bounds of a relationship, you can have these conversations. Of course you can. And then maybe you will at some point sit down with your partner, or they would with you, and say, gosh, you know, maybe we should look at our diet together. Maybe we need to sort of be healthy. You know, these kind of stupid conversations you have. But that word you use, Nadia, controlling. I think over the last months, we have become much more aware, haven't we, about what does represent control in a relationship. And it's the thin end of the wedge, this, for me, that's someone would say to a partner, I will leave you if you do not maintain this body shape. Because that is, to me, controlling behaviour.
But it's a massive red flag. You just wouldn't hang around, would you?
I wouldn't. Saying a lot of people do. That's the discussion. I wouldn't.
I mean, we just say to a partner, I will leave you if you become ill. I will leave you if you lose your job.
Exactly.
I will leave
I'll leave you if you don't keep the house clean enough. I'll leave you if you don't have sex with me every day.
It just reminds me of those people that do prenups. And that seems like, you know, and... You know, I'm going to split the house, we're going to do this. But people that do prenups always worries me anyway, because it looks like it's starting off on the wrong foot anyway. If you're going to get married to someone, you're going to say, this is what happens if we get divorced. That's before you've even lived together. And then what would that be in the prenup? If you lose weight, if you put on weight, I'm going to finish with you. It's just like...
It's like writing a whole new set of vows.
Yeah.
That could, and like you say, you could even put that into a legal document.
But it's interesting you say the sex thing there, Nadia, because there's another conversation that goes around, beloved of the Daily Mail. You know, if partners have got mismatched sex drives, is it an obligation within a relationship? You know, if your partner wants sex X times a week and you actually don't fancy it, is there some kind of marital contract? I know somebody
and she says, oh, I have to have sex every morning because otherwise, you know... And she's a very, like...
Otherwise, powerful... what?
Well, what is the otherwise? You know, it's like, you know, it's just like it lets life roll along a bit, you know, everything's a bit nicer.
Yeah, but if she's
she has no idea when she says that's control. If you're having sex every day and you don't want to keep a happy enough home and to keep your husband smiling and not being unpleasant with you, what is that?
Well, it might be her rule and she's just pretending that...
No, it's not wrong.
Yeah, but then I suppose it depends. If the partner who doesn't want to do it as often is able to have the conversation and say, look, this actually makes me feel uncomfortable, and actually I'm sometimes having sex with you and I don't really want to, and I don't think this is great for our relationship. If the other one then says, oh, God, I'm so sorry, I didn't realise, OK, let's talk about this, let's find something that works for both of us, then great, that's a good, mature relationship. I mean, if they fly off in the huff and say, this is not what I signed up for and actually I need it and blah, blah, blah...
What if they're just a bit moody? What if it's not that dramatic? What if they just, like, remove themselves just a bit? It's that coercive control that interests me, where it's just like an undercurrent of, like, getting you to do what they want you to do without a big drama, but, like, just grey-faced.
Making it known they're not happy with the fact that you didn't have sex with them in the morning.
Yeah, and I think when somebody starts giving you rules and regulations like that of how they're going to love you, I think that's a red flag of that sort of stuff that's going to come.
But you would see it, I would see it.
Yeah, but what would you do? I mean, that's
just say, ta-da, love.
progression.
Oh, no, I'd say that's it. See you at the solicitor's, love.
No, you're not married yet.
Would you?
You're not married yet.
But if they did and all this was going on, then I would...
But you know what? We mustn't forget, we are women in our 50s. We've learned this stuff. 60s. You know, I don't know if I've
Very late 40s.
I don't know. You know, we mustn't forget that sometimes when you're in your first throes of love and somebody says that and you think, oh, well, yeah, of course, and I don't want you to get fat. I mean, never... Red flag teaching should be taught in schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
I think you're right, because when you're younger, you maybe see that as a sign of kind of love and romance and intensity, don't you? But, like, 20 years on, it's like that huffy face, as you say.
Well, he wasn't exactly an oil painting, was he?
Personal. Yeah. Wow. Maybe she loved him for his charm.
Yeah.
Personally, I always love my overnight oats, being Scottish.